I was excited to see some applications that are really like a Web2 app, but working on Web3. This like second wave of applications that are going to come and that are really going to utilize, the innovation that are part of Radix and Scrypto. And we're talking like big change. You can become, the founder of a app. This is what DeFi is about. Like we're bringing some hope back to DeFi. Like you can actually build stuff that are secure and that are enjoyable for people to use. So
aloha, my friends. David here with Crypto Tutorials, and today I am talking with Maes. She's the head of the developer ecosystem for Radix. So the grant program, Scrypto 101, the Scrypto challenges are all her projects. If you're developing a project right now or thinking about getting involved with one in the near future, this is definitely going to be an extremely helpful discussion about what Radix is looking for and what it takes to make the cut on these special programs. We're going to talk about how they chose the projects that made it into the grant program, some of the other great non-grant winning projects that are on Radix, the waves of innovation that are coming to Radix, and what to expect in the future, as well as what Radix needs from its users to grow and achieve the vision of Dan and Piers. I did my best to hack this interview down to the most important information, saving you a ton of time. If it does help you out, when you reach the end, give me a like and subscribe to show that appreciation. Thank you so much. And let's get started.
I first came across crypto or the full industry back in 2016, 2017. And then I did a little bit of a career move, learning marketing and working for startups. And the first startup I worked full-time for, doing an ICO and presented the crypto space. So that was my first full-time marketing job. Wow. The Wild West, lots to catch on, but really cool community. I really got into it. Then I worked in different domains, but stayed in crypto,
Sure. And then what brought you specifically over to the Radix chain?
As I was following what was going on with NFTs and so on, I was still looking at different layer ones. I first heard about Radix something like 2 years ago, a little bit more than that. At the time, I had my own company, but then I saw an opening at Radix and I thought this could be interesting. So I started working at RDX Works in May last year.
Give me an idea of what your job as the head of the development ecosystem looks like, projects you're involved in.
When I started, it was just me and Clement in the team of developer ecosystem. So we basically built everything from scratch. The goal is really for us to be like the front desk for developers who want to build on Radix, the front door for learning everything about Scrypto, everything about the tech, things like the Radix Academy and the Scrypto 101 course. We run all the Scrypto challenges as well. We run the grants program. We also have a YouTube channel now, just for Scrypto. And more content coming.
I know obviously the grant program is a big push and it's something that's just recently launched. You ended up going instead of 5 with 6 different people. What were you really looking for?
We wanted to find people who were really committed to build and launch at Babylon because we were really close to the mainnet launch now. We were going for 5, then we took in 6, but it's just because it was so hard to choose. Much more than 6 teams that we could have taken in. The full grants program is quite different than other programs that are going on in Web3. We took, like we usually do, a radically different approach. Did a lot of user or research around grants program, interviews with the community as well to see what people needed. All the grants program on other L1s have been a lot of giving a lot of money, but not necessarily a lot of support. But we wanted to take a really different approach, mostly coming from Piers, our CEO, experience through Y Combinator. So we wanted to really be able to give the best advice and support we can to those startups. Because yes, this is like building a company, a Web3 company.
Yeah.
But you're a startup just like every other startup. There are some specificities. Of course, that comes with crypto, mainly legal, token economics, and all of that are all things that we're addressing in the program as well. All in all, those people are founders that are creating a startup. So they go against like the same or a lot of the same challenge.
Sure.
So when we chose those different teams, we not only choose like projects that we thought were really, really good and had great chance to do great at Babylon, but we also looked at the group itself of people. Or would they be able to exchange with each other? Because there's also a lot of value as meeting other founders that are going through the same thing.
Was there a particular like stage did you want them to have a functioning prototype? Did you want them to also have an audience, or was it some of them were just literally an idea and a team? What level of development were you guys really looking for?
So we really have examples of everything in this cohort, right? We have like teams like OssySwap and Caviar that have been building for a while. They have working prototypes, they have community and so on. And we have like people like AlphaDex, who was a working prototype, but just got started. But what we really liked about him is that he took a different approach to a DEX. That's another book. And he has a ton of experience in traditional finance. He's been working in there for the past 20 years. And so we're really confident that with his background and his approach, he would build something really interesting that we might not have seen on other chains as well or in other projects. And then we also have teams like Hermes that are coming, or Hermes Protocol. They're coming from another chain and expanding to Radix as well. So it's really a wide range of projects. So you don't have to have a specific, community size or working product. If you have an idea, you're close to be building an MVP because the program is only 12 weeks. So you need to be able to ship something in that time.
Okay, so you got to be a little bit further along than it can't just be kicking off an idea. You got to actually have some code built. Babylon not having come out with there not actually being live smart contracts. How are these teams able to build and put together DEXs? How does that work when you don't actually have live smart contracts?
So if you look at the OssySwap, for example, they have what they call a centralized, decentralized exchange. So of course it's a beta version that what will come out after, and it's essentially building something that is centralized, but where they can already build a community, test some functionalities, and it would be fully decentralized as soon as Babylon launch.
So do you guys have a timeline then? I know I read somewhere that you're looking to do one more round of grant program before Babylon. Is that correct?
Yeah, so there would be another round of grants before Babylon. We're not 100% sure where or when the applications will open. Soon enough, I would say, but I'll have to confirm all that because we're looking at, since this cohort is our first one as well, we really like to learn from what we're doing and get the best learning to open the second cohort after. So,
is everything still on track to launch Babylon Q2 2023 like it had been talked about?
As far as I can tell, yeah. All my colleagues working very hard, extra hours to make it happen. Very competent people, the best I've ever met. So,
are there any projects that you could let out or could share a little bit about that might have been really interesting that maybe didn't make all the way up to the grant project and weren't far enough along developed, or for whatever reason didn't make it, but were just a really interesting idea of something unique being created on Radix that the community should take a look at and understand?
So looking outside of the grants program, there are still many, many teams that are building that are really good. Radlock, who's building a launchpad, funny or fun apps like Delphi Bets, where you can bet onto different events that are coming, very vibrant community. Viking Land is an NFT marketplace where a lot of people are going. Astrolescent as well, really amazing team, and so many more. There's definitely a lot of activity.
With the totally different style of smart contract language and all the advantages of the platform, I'm always looking out to see, is there that really unique thing that nobody is doing on any of the other L1s that can be made on Radix?
I think there definitely will be more and more, but as we are still at the beginning of the ecosystem, we have a challenge out for a global DeFi challenge for Scrypto out now until end of March. There's really a ton of opportunity to just build the basic blocks of an ecosystem, of a DeFi ecosystem. So if you are a developer that's looking to build something successful, go on DappRadar, look at the top 20 dApps on other platforms. And if you replicate one of those apps, you'll have pretty good chance to make a successful business. So there's really a lot of space for people now, but we've seen some glimpse of applications that are already looking further than what we've seen. This second wave of applications that are going to come and that are really going to utilize, the innovation that are part of Radix and Scrypto. It's going to be so interesting. But for the most part, I was excited to see some applications that are really looking like a Web 2 app, but working on Web 3. And this is really, in a way, what I'm excited to see as well, because so far the user experience for Web3 is
Yeah.
just sad.
And somebody new decides that they want to join Web3 and they ask me, where do I look? And I'm like, you need to go watch 20 or 30 videos on YouTube. There's just no way for the average normal person is willing to accept that. They're not going to do that much work and that much training just to join Web3. It's got to become something where you can say, hey, I want to join it, and you download it and you enter a few passwords and you sign up a little bit of stuff and boom, you're in and using it.
You can argue like this is why when there is a bull market and a lot of people are joining at the same time, they're using centralized applications that is not really using DeFi, but it's the only ones that are kind of okay to be using if you want to put your credit card in and buy some tokens. Right? And then, of course, on the other side of the spectrum is like amazing financial decentralized application, like doing things with your assets that you don't even know yet is possible because of all the innovation that we're bringing. So really excited to see this.
I watched a company that was building out in California. They were building all these climate controlled storage lockers for like people who had fine art. Most art collectors have way more art than they have wall space for. And they would store the fine art there and then issue them an NFT so that they could just sell the fine art to somebody else. And that art actually never had to move out of the climate controlled, facility. I'm interested in kind of seeing how you guys see Radix particularly being different than Ethereum and being able to blend in with sort of real world applications.
We're really grateful for what Ethereum brought because, all around the different years of crypto, there's been new innovation and it all helps us to see what's possible. But we really need something else. Now it's the beginning of the ecosystem. So it's kind of dApps that we can expect that are coming or that we know about, but even with new functionalities that we've not seen before. But the second wave of dApps that's going to come after once Babylon is launched, and then they start really, trying new things with the tech, I think it's going to be amazing.
I think 6 to 12 months after Babylon is when you're going to finally start seeing some of what Radix can do. I think it's going to take that long for people, once it's up and live and starts actually growing and you start getting a much bigger user base. And then the second level where they're building on top of what those initial rounds get built. What can community members be doing to help expand and grow, help improve the Radix ecosystem, just as a regular community member, not as necessarily a coder or a developer?
There's so much to do. And especially when Babylon's going to launch, there's going to be so much to do for community members. Just go out, talk to the teams that are building, try their product, give them feedback. Like user feedback is super important. Get involved in the community, try the different dApps, try to, get your friends on there as well and see how it grows. It's going to be an exciting time. I mean, when Babylon launched, finally, we're also looking forward to it. It's going to be a big thing.
I bet. And then as far as, what do you think to look back and be able to go, yeah, the last 12 months or the last year was successful growth for Radix, was successfully, completed what we were hoping to get out of it. What does that look like for you guys? What are you sort of projecting and looking forward to, as far as, I don't know, what metrics you're counting on, but what you're actually looking for the platform in the next year?
So there's a lot of different metrics that we are looking at, but mostly if I look now, considering what happened in the market and still the excitement that we see in the community and more and more people starting to build and getting this close to Babylon, I think is already a really good sign of success. The Radix ecosystem is growing despite everything that's happening. And I think that was really the message at RightFi as well. It's, at the end of the year when hope was really low, this is what DeFi is about. We're bringing some hope back to DeFi. You can actually build stuff that are secure and that are enjoyable for people to use. So.
Oh, yeah. One other thing I saw that was interesting. I saw that you are doing some hiring for a developer community liaison. Can you tell me a little bit about what you're looking for, what that would entail, what kind of time frame someone would need to be involved in, and what skills you're looking for?
So I'm currently hiring a new developer liaison. A developer liaison is a role if you're talking on the Discord and the Scrypto channel, you'll be talking with Clement, Jake O'Brien. This is really really cool role, not only because you're joining my team and Radix amazing tech, but also because we are launching so many different projects. So you'll be part of building the Scrypto 101 course, looking at all the different challenges, participating to the documentation and all those different projects, and mostly really being part of the community and helping other developers to learn Scrypto and build their app. And for this specific position, we're looking at someone with some development skills. What you really need, I think, is to really understand what Radix is and being passionate about it. It's better if you've started learning Scrypto already, but we don't expect you to have 5 years experience in Scrypto.
Is it a full-time position? I mean, is this someone's, or is this like a side position for someone who's also doing other projects, or?
This is a full-time position, yeah.
Okay. And then I guess last of all is, you know, any maybe information that's not out there about Radix, any secrets you could share about something cool that's coming around the corner that you can hint at, or anything, you know, that just would be fun and interesting for people to hear that they may not know about yet?
Maybe nothing that's not out yet, but I just wanna share something. Like, we are just a few months, a few weeks, maybe even a few kind of days if you look at the roadmap away from Babylon. So it means like it's the last time to be early. Piers was saying at the Redfire, you know, you're still early, but not for long. And right now we have everything in place to help people if you want to, you know, take a chance at it. And we're talking like big change. You can become, you know, the founder of a app. You can do a career change. So you can take the Scrypto 101 course and learn the basics of Scrypto and start collaborating on projects. Or you can even start your own project. We have the DeFi challenge that's now out. So you can build your own MVP in a few weeks, maybe team up with some of your friends and work on that. And, you know, there's a $50,000 prize on this challenge. So it's not nothing either. And probably shortly after the challenge, we'll reopen the grants program. So you might even have built something that you want to push to the next level and apply to the grants program. So there's really like a lot of opportunities right now. Either you have a project that you're passionate about, something you really want to build, or if you're unsure what to build, look at what is there in other ecosystems. There's like a lot of opportunity and space to build now on Radix for launching at Babylon. So exciting times, I'd say.
Well, there it is, an overview of the development side of Radix. If you made it this far, then please do give me that like and subscribe. And if you're not familiar with the grant program, you definitely should find out about all 6 winning projects by clicking up here.